Welcome back to Number Sense Nonsense, and today you will learn how to multiply any number by 5 mentally. So some steps we need to know when multiplying a number by 5 is that we have to divide that number by 2, and then simply multiply that number by 10, or move the decimal place to the right. So let's do this in an example. So the number you are multiplying by 5 in this question is 44. So you would do 44 divided by 2, which is 22. And then you would simply either multiply this number by 10 or move the decimal place once to the right and get 220. So your final answer would be 220. Moving on, 124 times 5. The number you are multiplying by 5 is 124, so you divide that by 2, you get 62, and then you times that by 10 or move the decimal place to the right once, and you simply get 620 as your final answer. This next problem here, we have an odd number, so we'll have a decimal when dividing 227 by 2. So if we do 227 divided by 2, we get 1, 1, 3, and then 0.5. So you have a decimal here, but it's the same exact concept. So then you would either move the decimal place once to the right or multiply this number by 10, which would give you 1135 either way. So that is your final answer. This next problem here, you're multiplying 5 by decimal. It doesn't change the concept, so we use the same exact trick. So if you do 4.5 divided by 2, you would get 225, or 2.25, my bad. So if you do 2.25 times 10, or move the decimal place once to the right, you'd get 22.5 as your final answer. Here are some practice problems. Feel free to pause the video and work on these at your own pace, but try to do these mentally without showing any work. Here we go. So 73 times 5. You do 73 divided by 2, which would give you 36.5. Simply moving the decimal place once to the right or multiplying 36.5 times 10 would give you 365 as your final answer. 468 times 5. So 468 divided by 2 would give you 234. You do 234 times 10 or move the decimal place once to the right, you would get 2,340 as your final answer. Next question. 2021 divided by 2 would give you 1010.5. So if you do 1010.5 times 10 or move the decimal place once to the right, you'd get 10,105. So move from here to here, so that means this number would be your final answer. Next problem. You have a decimal that you have to divide by 2, so it would be 6.2 divided by 2, which would give you 3.1. Here you can move the decimal place once to the right, which is most efficient, or multiply this number by 10. Either way, you'll get the same answer of 31. Next problem. 13.7 divided by 2 would give you 6.85. So if you do 6.85 times 10, or do 6.85 and move the decimal point once to the right, which is what the most efficient way to do it would be, you would get 68.5 as your final answer, and that is how you multiply any number by 5 mentally.